Storm.
Yes. But they have Caudle. And
Yes.
it's nothing to say is probably his best hero. And
Playable.
they're one game from elimination. So you want to make sure that you're bringing your best stuff to the table.
Yeah, but back to what I said is like, are you going into this with, cojones? Are you going into this with confidence? Or are you going into this looking for anything that makes you feel better, feel okay? Because if you're going into this trying to feel okay, I mean, you're going to feel okay in the first 5 minutes and then you lose and you go home.
Depends on the mental stability of your team, I think.
Yes. Well, I'm always going to be in the boat of like, think clearly, be confident, and then the rest will come,
PSG.LGD.
Oh, interesting. Versus Underlord Techies. I've seen this hero beat Underlord in the past as well. Your ulti can cleave through these Crimsons or Vanguard builds and stuff. So if you're okay, Ogre as well.
Double melee though versus Underlord Techies.
But this could be what we were just mentioning before. This could be a mag mid and an Ogre offline, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, yeah, I suppose.
10 seconds
Bottle Sven,
remaining.
also pretty solid lane.
Yeah, and mag also really enjoys it. I don't know what builds people would do on the mid, but back in the day when you went like for a more core-ish mag that had to deal some damage, Bloodlust was one of the best abilities for him because you didn't really want to buy like big attack speed items early.
I actually don't like Caudle 5. Said it before up here, but I think you just end up like ruining it carry's lane by like pushing it into the offlaner's tower.
Yeah.
And you also take like half his CS, which, carry players will cry about endlessly.
But Caudle Ogre could be a really solid lane.
Yeah, I think that offlane could work.
I guess Ogre, is this the first time we see Ogre support in this tournament?
It might be.
I want to say yes.
If it is Ogre support,
we've seen Ogre like 2 or 3 times offlane.
Mostly Collapse.
Yeah, Collapse played it, but someone else played it too, I want to say.
Yeah, I believe so.
Anyways, if it is a Ogre 5 and with a Sven,
PSG.LGD.
it can be quite okay versus this Underlord Techies. I think you can find your way. I mean, it's a new Ogre, it's a new day, so I'm not going to try to be smart on this.
I would like to see a new... What do you put the Magnus Caudle down there versus Naga? I feel like that works.
It works, right?
They contribute well,
yeah.
Yeah, you get Vanguard with the Caudle spells versus Disruptor Naga. I think you'll be able to shove him out and start applying pressure. But Naga versus Sven it can be very good for Naga. It depends a lot on how Sven gets to hit. If he gets on the right target, if you have sleep ready when you sleep and so on. But in general, Naga can be quite good versus Sven, I would say. It's a better core matchup.
Talon's got a pretty good lineup to kind of kite this Sven out. They just need to focus on surviving that that initial jump, right? The RP, the God Strength plus Blink Dagger plus Sven's first stun.
And it's up to Sven to kind of bring enough damage to the fight so that the Crimson, the Greaves, and like the Atrophy Aura and all these things don't...
10 seconds remaining.
If people start becoming unkillable, I think LGD starts running into, big issues because the long team fights are not going to favor them.
I feel like they need more damage. They're sort of completely reliant on Sven.
Yeah, and are you picking a position 5 and doing what we talked about with the Mag and the Ogre? Are you picking a +5 to bring this damage, or are you
TALON Esports
mid laner?
There we go. I love this pick. They needed something like just full-on damage, follow up on all the stuns that they already have, and help deal with the Naga throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
Damage for Underlord. I haven't seen a lot of Timbersaw, but I think this hero can be good.
And the usual counters are like Bat Rider, Leshrac. Those are what you would pick to deal with the Timber in the game.
5 seconds remaining.
What else?
Yeah, what else is in this pool versus Timber? You mentioned Bloodseeker before. I don't know if it's worth anything. It's just a Rupture.
I think they're just getting a mid. Or
yeah. I'm thinking out of the box, like but there's Ember still. Okay.
Venom
Underlord mid potentially. Veno offlane.
I think so. I think they're doing the Veno to punish the Sven, and they're just gonna put the Underlord mid versus Timber, which can be quite good for Underlord because you outlast.
Oh, it's mid actually.
Yeah, it should be Timber mid.
Offlane mag.
I mean, I don't know how it goes between the Whirling Death and the Atrophy. Like if Underlord can actually get the first waves versus the Timber with more right click damage, or if you lose too much strength.
All right, let's go. Bold predictions panel. We can't be wrong twice, right?
Surely.
Twice, surely. I want to give it to Talon.
All right, I'm gonna follow. I'm following No-Tail. Jenkins, dare to be a contrarian?
Yeah, I'll go LGD here. I feel like Timber against Underlord is. I've been on the other end of that one. I think this could be a snowballing Timber game that we have in front of us.
5 seconds remaining.
I think there's a lot of magic damage for the Timber still. I think it's not a free game. But if anyone's gonna do it, I think it's up to the Sven and the Timber to put in the work.
Got more disables this time on the side of PSG.LGD. Stuns are good, so they got that sorted. We do have the Sven Ogre lane, and you all were not very happy about that.
Double melee. That's always
I'm
not
not enjoying this lane.
against Veno.
Against Veno?
Against Veno.
Well, that feels very painful, actually.
Yeah.
And I feel that.
Yeah.
So for Talon, Mikoto's going to get out of control? Or Jabs?
Jabs is going to get out of control.
Jab's gonna get out of control.
I
He
think
has good
Jabs.
2 side lane matchups. If he's against the Mag or if he's against the Sven, both are gonna be amazing for him. Should be.
But we don't have the initiator from the mid lane, which, Peter, you always...
Either side really does.
Yeah.
And that's where I think Disruptor can be very impactful for Talon.
All right, Talon seems to be the favorite of my panel, Jenkins. You're in the minority here.
I'm just trying to be devil's advocate. I'll go LGD. I don't want to curse anyone. I'm just
The
going to go
thing
LGD.
is, if you all go for Talon, then you all unanimously curse Talon.
Okay, I'll go
Therefore,
Talon.
we
I'll go Talon. I mean,
to
I do think like Veno should have a... This should be a free Veno. He's against 3 melee cores and a melee support in lane too.
Didn't was it CRM the other day who cursed LGD? Remember that?
What? How did he?
Slack was asking like who he wanted to curse or whatever.
That's true.
He did curse.
He did.
It was LGD.
It was LGD.
It was LGD.
Here, I'm going to find out game 2. England Major, let's see how it goes together with OD Pixel and Fog.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, game 2 here, ladies and gentlemen, of Talon versus PSG.LGD. And Fog, what do you make of this? You know, coming into this one with the drafts this time round, we did hear that panel, they seem to just straight up like what Talon got in terms of hero picks here in this game too. Would you agree?
There is a lot of melee heroes on the side of LGD versus an Underlord and a Venomancer. These two heroes, honestly, they thrive versus strength heroes. They thrive versus high HP and these melees. I could see Jabs getting out of control. For LGD, I think it's all going to be up to nothing to say. I think he is enabled in this game with the Coddle. Blast and pop off. If he's able to get ahead and crush this Underlord once he hits 6, perhaps he could take over the map. But let's see if that's going to happen. And let's see if the level 1 thing doesn't happen this time also, because I think that really hurt LGD the start of their game, having to go to their lanes versus like both side lanes had like 7 stick charges on the side of Talon, so they couldn't actually pressure the lanes, and they lost all 3 lanes pretty handedly. Let's see what we get going down. I'm just excited to watch some of these heroes, because it is very comfort heroes coming out for pretty much both sides. The Jabs Veno, something a classic that I think people always talk about. Playing a master tier, nothing to say. We saw him play this quite a bit, even in the DPC, and he went just like the full nuke build on the Timbersaw.
I do.
What we get?
I do enjoy sort of how kind of disgusting some of Talon's heroes are.
They're
right?
pretty gross.
A Naga, a Techies, and a Veno. Ain't nobody want to be playing against these heroes. But unfortunately for PSG.LGD, that's what they're going to be up against in this game. They've got to win, otherwise they're going home.
This definitely does look like a melee nightmare. If the Timbersaw isn't able to just go crazy, they get pipes and stuff like that, and able to withstand versus all of this. Because yeah, honestly, it's not even just Veno and Underlord, right? It's Disruptor and Techies too. Like these heroes are absurd versus all these melees, and they're starting off as a kind of a tri-lane up here.
Okay.
Right off the bat, it is spotted. Ollie, he'll be seen.
Shira playing it carefully. Does not want to get caught out by some sort of first blood attempt by Talon.
I wonder how Ogre support is too. I haven't seen this one played at all here at this tournament, so I'm looking forward to see what YU Smile is going to be able to do to try to withstand and protect the lane for Shiro.
Run down Jabs a little bit. Yeah, we'll see how well sort of he's able to trade against these two.
I think the lanes across the board, though, all things considered, like besides just looking at matchups once we get into the mid game and stuff like that, I feel like LGD this time put themselves in a much better laning position. I feel like last game they did have, you know, they had like 2 very weak lanes in particular, where the Tinker versus the DK, and then they had this Brewmaster starting off low versus a very strong lane that Talon had set up. Why? Trouble.
Yeah, they can keep chasing.
A grenade and a sticky grenade.
It's going down. They can look for the deny, but they won't be able to find it. As first blood falls into the hands of Jabs. And a solid game 1. And yeah, straight off into this game 2, picking up the first kill.
Big one.
I mean, it's a nasty lane. Veno and
very nasty
Techies.
lane. He's just going in. Okay.
It's a rough one to lane into.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Especially double melee.
Yep.
And overall, so looking at the other lane that we didn't talk about, because bottom and top, I mean, they should be able to pressure pretty hard. I think either way, LGD, they do have set up for good lanes, but Mikoto also, early levels for the Underlord, he does well versus the Timber.
Oh, for sure.
It's once the 6 comes out, that's when you just get completely bullied.
Because you're CSing good, you should get a chance to get some good denies in, right? You hit hard.
you just have much higher base damage in particular. You see already, he's at 83, nothing to say is at 62. Shiro overall is getting slowed down, but I mean, only just.
Sure. It has to be careful though, just because the kill potential is so high.
Yep. Blood grenade,
you just see
spam.
each time they sort of get the Gale into the bombs being thrown out on him, it's half his HP every time, and it's very easy for Talon to connect with these skills.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for Innocence, for Y, he just has to tank the spells. Like, his job is actually kind of to die in this lane as an Ogre, just to make sure that Shiro doesn't get spammed. And the levels, as it comes out, this lane becomes miserable for a Sven. More and more levels on the Veno, more and more levels on the Techies. The nuke damage is unbelievable, especially versus double melee. But yeah, bottom, Zeal should free farm. And mid also, even though the Underlord can get a bit more of advantage with like these denies and stuff like that, I think NTS should be able to have this good time. And at 6, yeah, he's going to be able to push the Underlord likely out of the lane.
Yeah, we'll see what sort of Makoto does with regards to that when timing's hit, and if he does try and stick around, what sort of backup support he can get coming in. I mean, so something like a Techie's coming in can always be there ready to jump and punish a Timber Sword diving a tower for a kill.
No, absolutely. And I'm looking forward also to see what like an Underlord mid is going to be able to do as well with the early Fiends game.
It's nice, you can get those quick ganks going. Or bring in a +1 for a gank on mid.
Absolutely.
Many plays to be made. Definitely
I mean, Shiro,
a lot of strength
level 3
in the quick 6.
Suicide's going to come in. He's going down.
He's absolutely gone. They might look for the deny. See if You Smile can find the deny. So he's going to try and stay alive. There's Shiro. Another bomb's going to get thrown out. Shiro, he wants to find the kill. He's not going to get it. Who's going to live? I mean, it's such
another Gale.
It really is such a frustrating lane to play into. It's got to feel rough. You know that everything rests on this game if you're PSG.LGD and just Sven and Ogre. They're having to lane into this Veno Techies and a Veno Techies that Talon. They're playing it perfect.
It is very disgusting lane. And it really doesn't get easier for Shiro.
No, it doesn't. I think you've soon got to sort of consider just going somewhere else other than this lane.
I think you...
What do you do?
I think you call Planet. I think that's actually what you have to do. Up there? You get the third hero up there. You leave Zeal on an island. As soon as he gets Vanguard, you leave this Magnus on his own, and you bring the Coddle up there to fix the lane, because it just isn't going to get better for Shiro by any means.
And sort of as the panel said, definitely for PSG.LGD, they're going to be hoping that their mid lane and Nothing to Say really does pop off this game. So somebody's going to have to rectify sort of this slow start for Shiro, or at least have enough of a presence on the map that Shiro's going to be able to find the opportunity to catch up and farm, get to those safe spots without any chance of Talon reaching it.
Thing is that level 6 is about to be hit for Makoto. So I mean, they could just like Gale, Sticky Bomb, and then a Fiend's Gate appears on top of Shiro as well too, to go for the plays. See what Makoto looks to do.
And even if you're coming in with TPs, you're just not going to be able to react quick enough.
And it's only actually making the first move.
Shiro's in trouble. He is very dead here. TPs are coming in, but Shiro's gone. See if they can at least punish Jabs. They're going to try with a jump forward there from Q. They're going to lose more in PSG.LGD. You Smile is going to get taken out. The bomb thrown away at Planet. All 3 heroes going down. You do not want to come to this lane. Nope. You do not want to come up in it. Jabs and Q. I mean, you just don't go there. Do not go anywhere near the Venom and the Techies. They will kill you, and they'll kill any backup you bring in as well.
But Owen, where's this Sven supposed to go? He's level 3. They're level 5 on the Venomancer already.
It's rough.
It's rough for Shiro.
I mean, if LGD recover from this sort of start in their safe lane, it is going to be pretty miraculous.
I mean, so much of this game is now going to be up to the mid and the off lane, mostly onto NTS, honestly. He's playing versus a ton of magic damage as well.
And he'll get all in.
Okay.
They're going to be run out of the lane a bit here by Q.
And Q is really bringing it to him.
Jabs is here as well.
Jabs. He gets the connection to the Gale.
Planet is very dead. Just another one hit.
Jabs is going to go absolutely bonkers this game.
He's on fire.
He's going to have Vestal pretty soon.
That was 3-0-4.
And Owen, he's playing versus the quad melee, like the panel talked about too.
It's the Venomancer dream.
Yeah, I cannot actually wait to see the Noxious Plague just bouncing between these heroes when the fight kicks off too.
And just I will see if it sort of gets like they put the Ags and the Shard down the line.
Oh my God, it's
so many
disgusting
ways to punish this lineup of PSG.LGD, and maybe that you wouldn't have to be scared of PSG.LGD if he didn't have a great start, but he had a great start.
He had an amazing start.
Kills so far, Jabs.
And Makoto He's level 7. He opts to not get Fiend's Gate just yet, but now he has Pit with the Firestorm, so they can play super aggressive. This is just another kill. Anybody they find.
Shiro's got to run. He's got to get out of it. He's still level 4. Why you smart's dead. They can put the pressure onto this tier 1 tower now. Jab sits to 6.
I mean, where does he go? Look, he has to, jungling at level 4 on a Sven. That is pretty much.
Well, on the plus side, we did see with what 7.33 cleave got buffed. So the level 1 cleave is now what the 40% instead of what used to be like the 20% or something.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
At least your jungling at level 4 is better than jungling at level 4 in the last patch.
23.
See ya. They may have more stuns this time around with their draft, but not in that situation. PSG.LGD, no way to stop him from getting out. 23's fine.
I mean, yeah, this is insane timings. Jabs, I mean, yeah, Vessel, it's about to be done. So versus these tanky strength cores, again, even more so.
I can kill anyone.
It's so beneficial to have this, yeah.
You got to be ready with your TPs.
Oh, yeah.
If you're PSG.LGD.
You and him are always paired up. That's the one thing, is this techies now at this point, this hero has a built-in stun. You don't have to wait for Shard.
Yeah, when it's the duo of them, you're
dead.
There's no answer. You're absolutely dead. And one thing that they don't have this game, which they did have last game, right? They don't have any sort of save. You know, last time they had the Abaddon, which was able to bail them out of some situations. Not many, of course. They still lost the game. And they don't have any sort of dispel like that this time around.
I think so much of this game is really going to just come up to just nothing to say. So I think for Planet, you may just look to play around this Timbersaw and just buff him up with chakras constantly so that he can just try to snowball with some kills. Because he just needs as many as possible now to try to make space for poor Shiro, who has literally no game.
I mean, it's just that the thing for him is, as you say, with Jabs' quick Vessel, it's not like they can't kill this Timbersaw.
No.
You know, nothing to say. Turns up, Jabs is there with a +1 with Q. Nothing to say. He can't just charge into the fights.
It's the Vessel, but it's also just everything else, all the magic damage. Techies is 6, so it's magic amplification, the magic resistance reduction from the stacking mine. There's Firestorm. There's all this % damage. Honestly, Owen, this is going to be a hell of a game if LTD is able to recover it, because right now it's looking pretty sad.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think they're selling this lane duo perfectly. You know, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go into a pub and make someone feel miserable as hell, just pick Veno Techies lane.
You can actually just ruin these games completely. Like imagine playing a melee carry versus this in any situation. Yeah, they're just gonna flame their 5 and they're probably gonna leave.
So frustrating for the carry, absolutely. It really will be quite something if they can recover from this sort of start.
Yeah, Mikoto, I like the build that he's got queued up at the moment, going for Atos, more control. Can they punish him?
Don't drop the RP. I mean, they don't want to be messing around.
Good kill.
Drop the spells, get the kills. 3 more jabs, picks up another. He's able to kill off while you smile.
Of course. They even find the D ward as well, so now they have access points into that top jungle which Shiro needs to recover. How does stacks looking at the least? So that is the one thing Shiro does have. He has tremendous stacks, so there will be some recovery outlets at least for him here with this.
Under attack.
But I guess the thing is for this Sven, in this sort of game, when does it ever feel good to turn up and fight the enemy hero?
That is going to be the question, Owen.
There's a lot of kite, right? A lot of control. It feels like you're not really going to find opportunities to fight before you have BKB.
Like BKB Blink, because he needs an access to it to get into the fights as well. We'll see. Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh.
It's all of us.
Oh, it is.
Whoop. Pause, unpause, pause, unpause.
What's going on here? Slacks.
Pause.
Over the cable.
The build too. I actually really like this from Q. He's got a Veil.
I mean,
it's all the magic damage. Amp it up a little bit versus these tankier heroes, and
you just got to avoid these fights, right? If you're PSG.LGD, unless you're kind of making moves around nothing to say, and you know that Talon split up, which of course is not easy to find because they have this mid Fiend's Gate from Underlord.
Yeah.
You know, Mikoto will be ready to bring up in the backup and kind of bring the team together if PSG.LGD do start looking to fight Talon head on.
Yeah, you have to avoid. You have to avoid this techies and Veno in particular. But it's not easy when you're playing also versus Disruptor. Ali, he's level 6, so they have that extra catch.
Yeah.
Didn't actually see who got the Wizard. See that one? It was... Okay, it was Planet, and it was... So it was an equivalent exchange. But 23, I mean, he has the recipe for success for this Naga Siren, right? Even though he is versus a Cleave, versus the Timber Chakram and stuff like that, the space that's now at this point going to be made for him, it's tremendous. And Mikoto, you know, I was pointing out the Atos build. I guess, like, for this catch, because they are maybe a little bit lacking versus this Timber, I'm wondering if maybe he wants to eventually go down some Aura route, some type of extra protection for himself.
Shooting up the halberd next.
Okay.
So, wants to make sure that Sven's life is even more miserable in these team fights.
Shiro does get that recovery, though. Stacks are completely cleared. His net worth's not too bad, all things considered. Deal. We'll be able to bail out last second. Are they going to chase him through the portal? I think they are. And they're going through.
If they can find
Radiant's
him.
middle
Could sweep
tower
this
is
top
under
area
attack.
map. They know it's likely that one member of PSG.LGD will be farming these safer camps.
LGD's doing a good job of splitting away. They can't avoid Q. Wards up immediately. They see Zeal.
Yeah, they know. The bomb
Fiend's
down. Fiend's Gate is coming in as well. They'll drop the static storm.
Run away.
Goodbye, Zeal.
This is going to be a lot of magic damage. And he'll take the port back to mid lane. There's pressure there. Ooh, they're actually going to bring everyone. They see nothing to say for a second. The glimpse, they get vision.
Ooh, not quite.
Not quite. They're going to try. That was almost quick. Nothing to say. Getting just quite away.
And you like this as well from Molly, just the brown boot sags this game.
I mean, he's getting the dreams kind of set up for it.
Yeah, they've got the song. So pretty,
definitely makes sense.
You know, you can pretty much guarantee that static storm setup.
Honestly, I'm pretty with the way that the positioning of everything else is. I'm pretty okay with it. Yeah, Shiro, he's getting time to recover, which is absolutely crucial for him. They've done a good job of avoiding the fights the last like 3-4 minutes.
He's catching back up. It's very important for PSG.LGD. They slowed down Talon. And sure, they lose Zeal to that play up top, but other than that, the kills that were soaring in for Talon early on, they're definitely being slowed down.
Not everyone can have a good game.
Top tower is under attack.
Gonna have to sacrifice a little bit. And yeah, Planet, I mean, now at this point, level 3 Illuminate. The push on the side of Talon, they have great killing heroes, but pushing buildings is going to be a bit more difficult. So yeah, they're getting time to recover.
See ya. Straight on the way to the BKB. Atos done now for Makoto, so further setup here for Talon to start the action themselves. PSG.LGD, they'll smoke up and walk into this.
Okay. Ollie.
Thinking about going up into the high ground. All the way down the Thunderstrike and the Firestorm. Why you smile, able to walk it off.
Is under attack.
The rest of PSG.LGD poking from the side.
Q,
he's trying to jump in to finish the kill off here. He can get it. Put the mindset down and he'll find it. Q able to jump up, still takes down Why You Smile.
Q, I mean, this is one of his most played heroes for a reason. Super confident on it. 4-0-6. Love how aggressive he's playing.
They're going to go beyond the tower here. The setup's there into the Gale. It's going to be another pickup for Talon that could set up, allow them to push this tier 1 tower down.
Yeah, good invasive play. They were patient with the way they just fully ran up the high ground, but then the jump forward, they get the kill and enables them to now set up for tower here. Great moves. Talon, very similar to last game, playing incredibly confident.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Big fan of how they're moving around. Yeah, 23. I mean, Manta's now done, so he's going to be able to keep up the pace, keep that farm going, staying ahead of the Sven potentially, especially because Shiro, he's got to constantly be worried about the hunt. Hunt overall that comes out from PSG.LGD, it's nowhere near as threatening for 23. He can just song and TP out in most situations. Shiro gets found from these heroes, he's likely just dead.
Some good movements around the map though by Shiro. Finds these safe spots, you know, gets a couple of ways pushed out bottom, then immediately back up to this top area.
He's got them power, so he'll be able to get that big cleave. He clears through these camps in like 3 hits.
Echo's done, so he'll be able to speed up getting towards that next time at the BKB. Which then, maybe there's a place for him in these fights.
Okay, and Zeal's actually gone for the Blink Dagger. Feeling like he needs to be a bit more playmaky. Not the easiest thing when you're playing versus Veno, of course. Versus these pesky wards.
Trying to get for the setup, but they won't get it immediately. They can go for the glimpse back. It's the static storm.
Big damage.
It is a lot of damage. And far too much.
Another one.
Timbers to survive through. They'll turn over to Why You Smile. They should be able to get both of them here.
Absolutely.
I mean, it really is just so much. Any sort of catch, and then they just click all the buttons, press all the spells, it will kill anyone on the screen.
I mean, it's so much magic damage because of the amp from the Veil. 18% increased. 3 mines to reduce the magic resistance by 45% as well, too. Or the stacking mine to image. It's absurd how much they really do have.
Yeah, nobody's living through that. And that's the thing as well that makes it kind of so guaranteed when they go for these kills. Is that they've just got excellent setup, right? Between the Ronovatos and the pit from Mikoto, you ain't running away.
And the catch again, Zeal. Can't blink out of this one.
And there's the setup. They'll pop the RP, but
there's
he's
no
gone.
damage. Oh my.
Maybe an RP out of frustration there.
Definitely.
I think they know that this is...
We said
maybe, I don't know.
pretty irrecoverable.
Is this going to be harder than game one to turn around? What would
Yes.
would you rather be 15 minutes in on this game as PSG.LGD or 15 minutes in on the last game as PSG.LGD?
I think probably the last game. You at least have, like, if there's a chance if they make mistakes that you can kind of come back. This one, I think even if Talon makes a bunch of mistakes, this Sven has pretty horrendous matchups as we've seen multiple times.
And 23 is kind of the backup policy here, right? He's the insurance.
Yeah.
He's only been involved for one kill. That's all he's needed to do. He hits the creeps. If anything goes downhill, this Naga Siren, they'll be ready to cover the later portions of the game.
They have, he's 3 components toward Aghanims already on Disruptor.
I mean, it's going to be one of the faster times we've seen.
Probably one of the fastest if he keeps up at this rate. Why? And he's just gonna die.
Yeah, 23 can finish him off over the illusions.
Dire's middle
This
tower
is
under
brutal.
attack.
It's crazy. Yeah, Talon today. My goodness. I don't think anyone would want to run into Talon in this lower bracket if this first series is going to be anything to go by. They are looking ferocious.
Ferocious and incredibly confident. Like, look at Q. He's setting up for potential kills because they have the Fiend's Gate ready.
They do have the Fiend's Gate, right? Yeah,
if he finds him, they just come in. Hero has to be so careful. All of LGD just has to be so careful until BKBs come out.
Anybody can die.
Yep.
Mikoto, he's just going to start walking in. Right.
Hero. Oh
my goodness. Doesn't see him. Well, that was rather close.
It's so scary how they can hunt with this lineup. Anybody gets found, 3 heroes you and delete you until the BKBs come out. Once BKBs come out, perhaps they'll have some type of answer versus, but yeah, at this rate.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Too much space being made for this Naga who is owning the map. Cutting creep waves, pushing in 2 lanes at the same time constantly. And yeah, they're on the prowl. Smoke. Nothing to say, shows himself for a second. He has no BKB. Very vulnerable. Go. He's hiding. He's going to try to claim a wisdom, but they're all on top of him.
Did you see him?
He's in trouble. He's looking pretty dead.
Any sort of catch, and it's going to do it every time. It's just so much damage, you can't live through it. Even if you're a Timber.
This techies. Wait, can we see? I saw the damage before. Can we keep just bringing it up so we can just keep showing off for little cute techies over here? I mean, he is literally deleting everybody. Look at this. Look at this Sven damage. I don't think it's going to get much better than that. This is crazy.
I mean, the big test will be the BKB.
It will be. It's all about triple
If Shiro
BKB.
can turn up with the BKB, get him with the God Strength, we'll see if he can kind of delete some of these heroes.
But then there's a Naga, too, who could just reset the fight potentially or focus fire you.
That's true, they can disengage pretty easily.
Whew. Talon came to play today. And also, you know, BKBs, we keep saying, right, it's for LGD, timing will be, potential timing will be BKB, but then there's going to be the potential also of a song into an Ag Static Stone very early on in the game with the way Ollie's building. Okay, LGD, they're bringing the numbers.
They're setting up for a fight.
Who they can find. Playing around vision.
This is pre-BKB though, I'm sure.
It is. Can be risky.
They're
on jabs.
The fight without Planet. Well, indeed, they get the kill on jabs. See if they can try and push for more. They'll turn with the shockwave onto Ollie, but backup's coming in for Talon. PSG.LGD, they're going to keep going forward. Nothing to say. Some with the Timber chain, Chakra connection onto Ollie. And Mikoto, Q, and 23, they are around. They'll hold him down.
My lord.
Bring him down so low, so quickly. There's nothing to say. He's got to be heavy on the retreat, but the vision's there.
Glimpse.
They get the glimpse back. Nothing to say. Will go down once again. They get jabs. Again, it costs them. And 23 is the one to pick up the kill. That'll be his time. He's continued to fly, and he's got his heart picked up.
He feels amazing. He's like, team, thank you so much. You guys are just killing everybody around the map. I'm playing just Naga Siren PvE, showing up, getting a cleanup kill or 2. This damage is just so ridiculous with all this amp. Shiro, BKB is done. Where's the damage for the Naga Siren at this point going to be?
Yeah, I mean, Zeal's trying to get this pipe online, but it's still a fair bit away.
It is. I mean, they need a pipe versus all this magic, and it can't really be nothing to say to build it. I mean, even the pipe on Zeal, it's like it feels like he does need BKB completely this game too.
And time to steal some torment.
Ollie, careful.
Ollie. Watch out the support. They're going to try and get in and take this fight around this. And they might be forced to. They get the skewer back on Makoto. Makoto pretty deep here. They've got him. 23 tries to save him with the song, but the BKB was already there from Shiro, so Shiro could continue to kill off Makoto. The rest of them will get out, Talon. PSG.LGD successful in pushing them back, getting a kill on Makoto, and will make sure that the Tormentor falls into their hands.
That was bold from Talon. They almost looked how low it got, but like it gets them very, very low themselves and just sets up for initiation. Yeah. And honestly, that was very close for 23. Look, if you look at Shiro, the stun was... Look, watch his swing right here. It like just came up right at the end there, the stun. He had like 0.1 second of animation coming out. Good comeback. Good couple kills there for LGD.
I mean, Talon, they want to go straight back in for the fight.
Sure do. They know BKB's on cooldown. Shiro's a free kill if they find him.
He didn't use his God Strength, though, so God Strength would still be there. But indeed, the lack of BKB could be the overwhelming issue for Shiro.
He'll just die. The magic damage is going to be overwhelming.
He's going to go for the TP out. But Q, he puts a stop to it. And they're going to be able to get the grab onto the Ogre as well. They'll be able to go for two of them. And Talon, as soon as they lose that earlier fight top, they just straight back in. Q picks up another double.
7, 0, and 13. He's 20 of the 22 kills on this Techies, and he's now literally about to hit 12. They're actually going to kick up pace. They're going to go for Roche. Definitely hard for LGD to contest in that area, especially because everybody's just going to be full HP.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They love their Techies, and we're absolutely seeing why.
It's a brilliant Techies game.
Brilliant Techies game, brilliant Techies player. We do see this sometimes from Talon with the supports just go absolutely crazy. This is one of those games.
How's Ollie doing on the axe? $500 for Roche. He's going to be so close. So likely to be there for the next fight. So obviously PSG.LGD will have seen him, building up this whole game. So likely that they will be prepared for it. But the question is sort of how prepared can you be for the song into Static Storm if you haven't preemptively BKB'd. It's not easy to play against.
Quietly in the meantime, though, Planet has been farming quite a lot on this Coddle. So little things to obviously look at. He has Solar Crest finished up already, and I believe he did buy the Shard relatively early, so he can pull heroes around, trying to either match the Fiend's Gate or just avoid the fights to be able to set up Shiro for some chance of being able to catch up still. That's actually pretty important. He's very farmed on this Coddle.
And Kyun on the Windway connects.
Dire's top tower.
Midas.
They're ready for the recovery.
They're ready for the recovery.
They've just got to hold it out this game. PSG.LGD.
I mean, that's definitely what they're telling themselves. They're like, all right, high ground defense, take it to the super late game. That's where Sven is going to be able to delete some heroes, and BKBs are very strong this game.
Because they've got that wombo late game.
Do.
A nice RP into a follow-up from Sven. That'll do the job.
Especially with high ground defense, that's where things can start getting messed up. I feel like they got a timing here, too. BKB's finished on Timber. BKB on the Sven. Let's see if they can get the initiation. Can they get on this back line?
It's risky to look for this fight, especially into the Aegis of 23, but
and there's
very much feeling pressured that they have to do this.
The Mind scout the rotation. They know exactly where they are.
It's going to be tough for PSG.LGD to find something of this. If they do, it's going to be pretty wild.
They can get the back line. It's all important. Caps.
He's preparing.
Sees him. Delivers.
Nothing to say. He's trying to lead in on this. Shiro watching from the side.
Yes. Feeling confident with BKB.
And again. Gonna hold him back for now. He's got to have the backup coming in to help him out. Put the BKB. Is still trying to commit in onto Makoto. Bring Makoto down low.
Jabs.
Tim can finish him off. Another Chakram's there, but the song, it's out. Nothing to say. Was able to finish with the kill.
They're dipping.
They'll back off. They've lost their Underlord. They don't want to take this fight. Talon, they're able to get everybody else out.
That was very nicely done from Nothing to Say. The Haste Rune and the BKB, he just charges in and just, he gets rid of the Underlord before anything. LGD starting to find avenues back. Agreed. Will it work? The Midas, the Philly Stone for the Ogre.
23 closing in on his next item. Pretty much done.
They have completely closed the gap on the gold, though. That is pretty incredible when it's 22-5. Especially with the way that this meta works right now, where kills are worth so much. But BKB on cooldown for Nothing to Say. Has to be careful where he shows himself on the map.
That is pretty wild how close it is. Considering the kills are 22-5. Even some sort of the state of the levels of the supports, it's very close.
They've avoided
pretty much on a similar level state. Even though the supports are Talon, they got so much.
LGD's been just doing a good job of avoiding fights, right? Planet, I think he's just been deceptively sitting back and farming. Like, it's 9,000 net worth on a Coddle. He's ahead of Techies, who's been able to just literally find every single kill on the map. Pretty impressive. And yeah, Bloodlust plus some power. Nothing will start to kick in onto Shiro.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Jabs started to fall a bit behind on the gold. Venomancer. 90 seconds left on Aegis. He back on for nothing to say.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Force me to shoot his butterfly.
Looks like PSG.LGD aren't interested in holding this tier 2.
They're playing for the later stage.
Avoiding the fight. Hitting the creeps.
Dire's
So
bottom
far,
tower
financially,
is
it's
under
definitely
attack.
paying off.
Absolutely.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And they even have the how many Philosopher's Stones do they actually have? They did get 3 of them.
Oh, they went for 3.
They went for 3. I mean, that's definitely, it starts to add up. It starts to accumulate that net worth for them.
See if they can afford to lose another tier 2 here in the mid now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Trying to dissuade 23 a little bit. Only 20 seconds left on the Aegis. Maybe an opportunity for PSG.LGD to get out and look for another fight.
Definitely tense moments here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Double blinks at the right. I mean, Shiro, he has the blink done also with Zeals from earlier. They have access to be able to get into the back lines. Mikoto, he's trying desperately to finish his BKB so he doesn't just get evaporated from the Timber Saw like happened last fight. Midas and Philly Stones absolutely starting to kick in. Jabs is literally getting no farm. It's actually been about 7 minutes where I feel like he's been between 9,000 and 10,500 net worth. They're getting stuck in a position where they are running around as a unit. LGD is just splitting up. Full crit, all right, small crit now coming out for Shiro too. His damage is starting to kick in. Still gonna have an issue versus the butterfly, but if he's able to jump back lines and delete the supports, could be huge for them.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Has to make sure that he makes it count on the first few BKB usages, because obviously once he gets down to that 6 seconds, it gets kind of that risky point where if you don't kill them quick enough, BKB wears off, Song's going to come in, and suddenly the fight's getting turned around onto you.
Is under attack.
Has to make these sort of longer durations really count when PSG.LGD do eventually look to go out and get hunting for that fight.
LGD is just very good neutral. So I'm still clicking around on these heroes. Titan Sliver now for the Sven. I believe the Ogre Seal Totem for the Magnus to be able to reset and jump inside of these fights. Why Smile gets a headband on top of his Philly. And he's queuing up Hex, so the Recover Outlet is definitely starting to kick in. Very impressive. Talon, they're constantly sticking together. Trying to find some type of window here to blow open another kill.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
He's coming in.
Dire's middle tower.
The Glim's back. They will commit to take him down, and of course with the farm, the 23, as they do it very quickly, they've got the song set up. See if Foley wants to follow up with the Static Storm on this one. It's an axe. So there'll be no chance for any items to come out here.
Nothing
to say, but Shiro's in from the side. Nothing to say goes down. Shiro turns towards 23. Immediate buyback here from Nothing to say.
23's in trouble.
They're in with the stun. The evasion is giving him some survivability. 23. He possibly the illusions. He's trying to duke it out.
How is he out?
He's getting away. He's out duking them, but they've got vision upon him again. He's still escaping though. The kinetic field holds him back. The great escape hit from 23. He's out of there. How? Between the illusions. The glimmer. Was it glimmer coming in? Who was that? It was Jabs.
I think it was Jabs.
Jabs with the glimmer. Bails him out.
What?
And 23 gets away.
But we're seeing the power. LGD's kicking in. It does force a buyback from Nothing to Say, but how the hell does he get out? Zeal, he misses the RP.
I mean, that RP must have been so close.
He held on to it a couple times. I think he felt like they didn't need it, and then ends up missing it at the end. The great escape. Oh my goodness. Talon looking to strike back here. BKB still on cooldown.
23's
in.
for it.
He's on Zeal.
He's in on a Zeal.
Zeal's down.
Goodbye. Another kill here for 23. They can get the push going now. No Magnus for 50 seconds.
And they get a glimpse. They're looking for it. Ollie can't quite find it. 23 might run to the base
Heading up
for
to high
vision.
ground, and it's going to be enough to give them vision. They drag back Why You Smile, another kill for Talon. And at the same time, they're bringing in that mid-wave. They can look for the tier 2 here.
They're actually, this is the most confident, like we said, just like last game, they're still playing with that, like, we know the exact timings of these BKBs. Who cares if they get this, like, good fight with the God Strength and stuff like that for a second? They're completely reliant on their cooldowns on the side of LGD. They're getting the push on high ground.
Yeah, I mean, so much they're getting done just down to the fact that 23 was able to survive out that last play.
I cannot believe that. That was insane.
He's in now, putting the pressure on. Just a little bit of time here until PSG.LGD have their full lineup back in the game.
They do have good high ground defense, though. The Coddle Blast will be able to clear most out. And everything is pretty much back up for them. BKBs and God Strength is at the ready. Wild game. Tense moments.
A gift from the
Can't let those kills slip away from them again like that, PSG.LGD. Everything's got to be thrown down. No hesitation.
He's still taking good fights, though. Roche, what's the timer on it? It is about 1 minute and 40 seconds. It's going to be a pretty long respawn. You very close to his Aghanims.
Yes.
I don't know if it's one that we've gotten to see in one of these pro games yet. I know I've caught the Techies one.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know what it does, of course. I'm looking forward to see how much players panic inside of it, of course, and how much people end up actually moving versus the minefield sign if he does get it. Because LGD, they're primed for the fight. They are absolutely strong enough to fight into this lineup now at this point. All about initiations. High ground claimed. The song combo is devastating as well. He's going to get caught.
It's the high ground here, Talon around it, but Shiro, he's going to jump in. He's going to be immediately able to delete Q. Now with the BKB got straight, they're going to look for more. Up into the dodge! Oh my goodness, he dodges the RP! Zeal is going to try and change with the render of this BKB to kill 23 up, but the static storm comes out. 23 is falling low. He's alive somehow, finally! They take 23 out. Makoto is attempting to turn towards Shiro, and actually punching through him. Makoto will be able to kill the spell.
But XTS is killing everyone.
They've lost the techies here. Q ball back, but this is a dieback on him. Makoto's also going to get left behind. He's going to try and get out through the Fiend's Gate, but he won't make it. As PSG.LGD, they'll still be able to take the fight, despite some of the flashy attempts from Talon, 23 in particular, to try and survive the jump. 3 dead on Talon.
Oh, and they've completely recovered everything in this game. Roche is back up in 15 seconds. They're going to be able to take it pretty damn fast on LGD as well. If they do get there in time, and I think they will. The Manta dodge, but doesn't matter, nothing to say. Very coordinated. The way that they set up the fight was perfect. He leads the charge with the Sven, and nothing to say, doesn't walk into the song. He actually waits on the outskirts and gets his BKB off so that he can actually finish off the Naga Siren. Look up top at the fight. Waits for it, and then he's like, screw it, I'm committing in with BKB.
Yeah, they played that really well.
I mean, they're completely back in the game. Roche, it's up. The Naga Siren's back. LGD. Magic happened.
Loaded to the gills.
Right, they're in a pretty good advantage, it does feel like, at this moment as well, too. The fights, every time they have their cooldowns up, definitely feels like Talon. They have to get the initiation themselves with a song into a static storm on the ideal targets.
Close to some of these hexes as well. We're getting, Why You Smile with a smile. Just go slowly crawling towards a hex for the Ogre.
Absolutely. Planet also, Will-O-Wisp. Very strong. This Naga Siren needs all the help she can get from her allies.
It's just a great jump from Shiro.
Yep.
Playing as aggressively as he did, just straight into the high ground up towards the Twin Gate. I mean, that's the one thing when you fight around this area. You know that if you jump up there, you're going to find someone.
Its initiations are everything.
Shiro, we'll see if he does it again. He does. Straight in onto Jabs. Complete. Ooh. Well, they got the illusions. Mark there with the RP, but Jabs gets deleted.
I mean, now they need to back away. That's BKB's used. They actually have to be careful themselves. Gem was not able to be claimed.
So you say that time round, PSG.LGD not feeling too happy with what they got for that commitment?
No.
Just a Jabs kill. Not enough really when you pop that many spells and cooldowns.
Talon gets Roche for this.
Yeah.
They can't contest this.
All right, there you go. Jabs, he tanks it. And yeah, it looks like Talon will they'll get the Roche for that.
Yep. Back and forth we go. Initiations are key, as we see, though. LGD, if they get these jump ups, they're just going to delete these heroes, but Talon this time able to distance themselves nicely. Good bait there. Jabs in 23, of course, with his illusions.
And Ulites for 23 as well, getting this Hex done. He'll have it for the next fight.
Everything is going to be about who jumps. It really does feel like it is. Roche says, bye-bye. It is time for me to move top.
Oh, chase him. Get through that twin gate. Don't let him get away.
Da-da-dun.
Dire are
LGD.
scanning.
I mean, they do scan it out. Could have been quite comical if they were there a little bit sooner, but as it is, Talon, they'll have the space to take down Roach, get the Aegis and the cheese, and now PSG.LGD, they'll make the call not to find this. They're still waiting for the BKB to come back up on Shiro here, 15 seconds.
Shiro now has Satanic. Another form of dispel.
He's big,
Another
but
way to protect himself.
if Talon can play the vision game, and sort of they're ready, you know, kind of 23 of like the Hex precast onto one of these big initiators, it really could cause some issues for PSG.LGD's jump.
Yeah, and also let's see who gets this shard. Techie. I was going to say, if Techies gets the shard, this is another thing that can actually add an extra element into things. The disarm plus this taser is actually quite strong. I think this has been a huge addition also to make Techies cool. If he's able to utilize it like after the BKBs come off.
Well, the big answer coming out for PSG. We're getting the harpoon being gone for by Shiro. How's the Hex doing on Why You Smile? Still a little bit away.
I think the Shivas is the next big important one, at least for nothing to say. He's very close to it, and that's, of course, versus this Naga Siren, incredibly important.
They'll get a shard. Who's this going to? Who do you want it to be going to? It's going to be the Magnus Seal.
Okay. Sure. Not a great one, but whatever. Neck and neck. Think about it.
They've stabilized this nicely, but not to say that you know, Talon are out of this because 23 is still so incredibly strong. And even with Hexes coming into play on both sides, there's still something to be said overall for that song into Aghanim, Static Storm. Not a whole lot you can do against that if the spells connect.
Initiations, cooldowns, it's gonna, and vision is gonna be the most important things in this game.
Yeah, it's really just down to the play now. For me. How even it is. Team fight execution, who's gonna come out stronger? The lags.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I like what Jabs is going for next.
Because he's been the one that gets focused.
Yeah, he needs to just get this kind of thing. Because if he just gets the lead, as long as he gets like 1 or 2 spells off, it feels good for him. Q Aghanim, so let's see if the minefield sign makes a difference at all. If it does anything.
I'm not sure. It's just you pop it down and it starts just kind of sprouting random mines around.
If they move.
They'll be moving. They'll be running.
Especially inside like an Ag Static Storm. I think that's where it can just delete these heroes. Something like that. Just, LGD not being contained inside the base here by these illusions.
Radiant are scanning. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Tier 4 neutrals, anything specific we see here. Aesthetic cap on Q, it's a pretty good one. Just be able to break the combos a little bit so we can get some spells off.
Trick's always nice as well.
They're very nice.
Gives him more of a chance if he's the one getting jumped and focused by Shiro.
Double damage.
Double headbands are in play for PSG.LGD that we pointed out from earlier. And that's it. Shield rune, Makoto. Could be another important one to be able to protect himself.
He's under attack.
Pretty very tanky.
Yeah.
Halberd, BKB, Shield Rune.
Planet. He shows himself on this ward for a second. They're stalking him.
Ooh.
No way.
Did you just blink over him? There was no instance of catching any vision. He literally, they passed each other perfectly.
He found him.
He found him. Fair play to them, to Ollie, for having the resilience to keep on hunting, as they will find Planet. Ollie might die for this. See if he ticks out of the spirit. He will, but he did his job there, folks. He found him.
I mean, they still tip Planet because they're like, dude, you just solo killed him amongst 5 heroes. Amongst 4 heroes, how the hell did that happen?
Radiant's middle tower.
I can't he always gets away. Literally everybody on top of him. Wild.
It feels like 23 now times. This is sort of the point, right, where you kind of want to end the game as Naga Siren. You've got your BKB. You're ready to force these fights to survive. Still with a good amount of time left on the Aegis.
They're ready to jump.
They want to do something, but there's no disruptor. 23.
He is playing very risky here.
He's so far from the team. And of course, he has got an underlord ready to back him up. And if anything, PSG, they're the ones scared of him. Or are they? They'll maybe realize they're like, hey, you know what, guys? We can go back in on this.
Do they have the Static Storm in range?
I think it's just a song to back off, surely.
It looks like it is. Okay, I mean, LGD could look to jump this.
No song. Shiro. He's in. Glimmer make the jump onto Jabs, but into the Glimmer, it's enough to allow Jabs to disengage. Shiro not able to full commit, and
Shiro.
That's the BKB and the God Strength used by Shiro.
If they get vision of him, there's going to be a big problem.
I mean, absolutely, 23's just going straight back in. They've got the Hex opening in onto Nothing to Say. They start to throw the damage down on towards the Timbersaw. A bit tankier this time round. As he'll be able to get out, they'll glimpse him back, but he'll put the BKB. He's not going to mess around. Nothing to Say. He wants to get out of here.
Oh, and they forced BKBs and God Strength.
And, I mean, they've got Static Storm up.
They've got everything
Song in 35 seconds. They'll have a window to go where PSG.LGD may not be ready for the full high ground defense.
They just got to watch the skewers. They're pinging it out.
They're pinging out for Magnus.
Yeah, they're like, watch out. Looks like they're going to use Fiend's Gate to replenish Jabs here a bit. The skewer, not going to happen. Minefield sign, not really doing too much either.
Quick trip back to base. What's this to pick up? Just to refuel.
Just refuel mana.
Refuel.
Jabs is low.
Get the mana up.
I think AC also now picked up on the Underlord.
23 poking with the Hex.
Okay. Hero waiting in the wings. 20 seconds God Strength, 35 BKB.
Song's up.
Magnus waiting for a skewer.
I mean, 23 could look for an aggressive setup if he just wants to get in and Song.
Thinking about
He's going to do it. He's going to put the Song steal. He's in with the RP and the skewer back onto the two of them.
The Song is perfect to defend
them. They're backing up, and if anything, Ollie's has been put in position to get an easy Static Storm laid down on another. They're going to go all in over the Hex is there. They'll get the Hex off onto Shiro. Shiro has to back out of the side for now. Nothing to Say though. He survives the complete attempt from Talon. Talon, they're attempting to bail out of this one. 23 BKBs, TP's out, but there's something that the Electrics will not be there for both Q and Makoto as they get taken down. The defense is held by PSG.LGD.
That's Shiro without even having to have the BKB. He gets the jump in. They go for Nothing to Say, but that is the literal tankiest target.
It really is.
He literally absorbs it all.
They cannot kill him that easily at all right now. Everything thrown down on him. They use the focus of the Song into the Static Storm onto this Timber, and it's not enough. He's out, even with the sort of chance that they got the Hex onto Shiro, slowing down his opening into the fight. It wasn't enough. He still gets the cleanup, still gets the triple.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Sven, he's getting close to being at critical mass too. 25 soon to be hit with MKB versus this Naga Siren. Then 23's got no hope to really get away.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Wisdom
attack.
Rune as well for them here.
Getting a push going as well.
That 25. There we go. Level 25 Sven.
He's gonna hit hard.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
What does he get rid of for the MKB? Just swapping the treads out? Yeah, he's selling him.
He'll eventually get the Swift Link and stuff like that, so I think just
50% God Strength damage now. On top of it all.
He's going to disintegrate these heroes.
Yeah, the wombo combo, it's huge. Even if they just don't find the RP, even just sort of a skewer alone, bunching up a couple of heroes together, Shiro, he's going to clean them out in kind of like 3-4 hits.
Talon, after having a very solid overall way of confidence that they go for targets, they have to be careful of how they do target prioritize now at this point. If they can find the Sven, the game could still just completely be into their favor, but they have to not really going for the Timber, I think is the best option for them.
I agree. They have to disable and kill the Sven.
Yeah.
If they disable and kill the Sven, unlikely that there's going to be anywhere close to sort of the insane amount of burst damage for the rest of PSG.LGD's heroes when it comes to killing Talon, so 23 stands more of a chance to live through these fights. But yeah, everything has to be focused on this Sven, because Shiro, he hits like a million drop.
Yeah, if he gets the angle to just get any hits off, he will delete them. The supports now at this point too are just huge on the side of PSG.LGD as well. Why? He has the Hex.
Yeah.
They won 23.
Got eyes on him.
23's in trouble.
He's going to get the Song off. They're committing with the BKB. I mean, 23, of course, still decently tanky, though. Use the RP as well. Ollie's stepping up. He's got the Static Storm. He's going to spin up to keep 23 alive. Now they can turn. They get a Hex down.
Hero in trouble.
Shiro getting burst. 23 commits it. They'll kill him. They're taking Shiro out.
No buyback.
Look towards Zeo. He gets glimpsed back to his death. 2 dead on PSG.LGD. This time round, Talon, they were prepared.
I think they thought that they would be able to do more damage to this Naga, but he is actually pretty damn tanky, even versus the Sven.
Yeah, he got sort of the BKB off right before they managed to get sort of connection. 23, he reacted perfectly.
He reacted perfect.
They went all on in him. They could not kill him. And now they're ready to push in. And Shiro, he does not have buyback.
He does not. He committed.
It's the same to be said here for this Ogre. Why are you smart? He's dead for a minute.
Oh my god. And look, I mean, 23, the decision making now, it's back. Instantly buys a Moonshard after that fight. I think he knows. They're like, he's like, they spent the gold. It's time for us to end the game.
Go all in.
Holy Talon. Look at, I mean, 23's feeling confident. They get 1 Rax, they get the middle as well onto top.
They can take it all in. Look for the Megas. Nothing to say. Planet and Zeal, what can they pull together? Just the 3 of them. The Sega's call, but the Silence and the Roost, still a tough one to take out. Well, the Wisp gets laid down by Planet. Nothing to say. He's trying to get an aggressive onto 23. Going down to about half HP, but the song's back up. They can look to set up. They're going to go straight for Zeal. Static Storm's back up. They're locking down underneath the tier 4. Q jumps in. Zeal, he's going down. No buyback for him. 100 seconds out on the Magnus.
20 on Shiro.
The way Smart back in action. He's in immediately with the Hex. Over towards 23, but he's TP'd in for this one, and he's immediately going to be taken back out. As he's gone, they'll get the kill on Ollie. Fortification is up. At 23, he'll make the call to back off. Ends up TPing out of this one. They respect the fact that Shiro, he's back in the game. Talon, they won't push their luck. They'll play it safe.
They all just TP out in their faces. A big hit been made from Talon, though. Buyback, I believe, is it pretty much available for the Naga? 900 short, but very close. They're just going to come right back to the top.
Beanscape. Still a minute without Zeal. They're fully healed up, so they do not mind that they're pushing back into this potential of the Sven. They know they've still got the number advantage against PSG.LGD right now.
How long on Song? 20 seconds. Q looking to try to whittle it down with mines, but it gets cleared out. The Timber.
Still a hard one to commit on this Timber Storm.
Yep, he's hit 25, so he has the double chakram now.
He's massive.
Damage. He has literally more than doubled now.
Sort of slowly whittling down the ranks around him, though. The melee and the range both low.
They're making I think Talon's making the call for Roche. That is a absolutely crucial one as well, too, with the refresher shard at this point.
Who are you giving the refresher shard to?
Oh, I mean,
probably
could be the Nog or the Disruptor. Those are probably the two biggest ones.
Disruptor, right. A couple of Ag Static Storms from Molly could be game ending.
Double BKB though.
Because he's got the blink as well, so he can get that good positioning.
Probably for the Disruptor, but I wouldn't even put it past putting it on 23.
Just on 23.
But maybe he just doesn't have slots at this point to even carry it. Because double BKB, double Sol is massive this game.
He can still try and play over it all, get the Aegis instead of the BKB, and then the Aegis goes, get the BKB in, put the BKB, swap with a refresh, and then put the BKB back in. Let's see if 23 feels fast on the fingers today.
What's it gonna be?
Definitely take the Aegis. Does he want the shard? Nice, you give it to Makoto.
I feel like he's gonna pass that one up, right?
I feel like yeah, there we go. Okay. Ollie.
That's fine. I mean, either one is the ideal ones for the Naga or the Disruptor.
I mean, because now you've got the potential, right, to just sort of lay them down at the same time. They don't have to be root two sets. Song of the Siren into kind of two split Static Storms.
NTS, trying to lead the charge. X.
They're cautious about how heavy they're going this game. So
he's got Bloodstone now too, so he's got big full heal elements. Lanes are going to slowly push in from the sides, bottom and mid.
Yeah, they've got to take these fights smart, and that does not include going in on a Timber.
No, not the target you want. These situations are crazy. How is Planet doing on his Wind Waker? Because that is the only save, of course, versus this Static Storm kind of combo.
He's close.
He's close.
But it will mean no buyback for him.
It feels like a point where you have to commit for the items, though.
Absolutely. Especially when some of your cores, like Zeal right now, he doesn't have buyback available. Yep. You've got to risk your own buyback to save the potential of your cores being out without buyback.
Checking the range 550. Auto fade. I mean, it depends on his positioning. It's going to have to be pretty perfect in order for him to save people versus the Song Static Storm. It's 1400 radius versus like 1000 radius of the cast range from Wind Waker with ult.
Jabs. Gonna get some sneaky Plague Wards in around the backs.
I mean, oh my god!
Goodness!
They see everybody!
They grouped up big time, Ollie! He's headed over!
Oh my god!
They're going to be able to get the 3-man Ag Static Storm edge, trapping them and catching the big one, catching Shiro! He's out of the game!
They got him all!
They're immediately coming in with the buybacks, but now nothing to say. He's surrounded by Talon. He's trying to get out of this. He'll put the BKB, the Shiva's got the Bloodstone. He's healing up a bit, but there's no Zeal for this one. They've taken out Ollie, but Ollie, he's already done his job. He doesn't need to do anything more on this one. The buybacks continue to fly out here from PSG.LGD. Shiro, he'll put the BKB.
Damage.
Turns towards Makoto, take it down one. Now he'll look towards 23. 23 getting burnt slow, but he's got the Aegis. He's going to be back for round 2. Why are you smiling, Planet? They'll look over towards Jabs. He'll get taken out. Can they do 23 a second time after the Aegis? He'll put the BKB. He's going to go for the TP out. BKB, TP, 23. He'll make it out of there. I mean, PSG.LGD, they are able to strike back, but they have to spend 3 buybacks to be able to punch back there at Talon. A very expensive fight for PSG.LGD, and just the setup, the Plague Ward down. They've got the vision, the Song into the Static Storm. You ain't ever coming out on top of a team fight that starts like this, folks, if you're PSG.LGD.
I mean, everything connects perfectly. That was absolutely beautiful.
And the double, yeah, just being able to throw that second one down onto nothing to say. So, he, whilst he was split from the team, he still, his sort of entrance into the whole fight was slowed down massively. And but
he doesn't die on the Timber. He actually just completely full heals from his Bloodstone and everything like that. So he did not have to use buyback.
He can still survive through everything that they throw at him. The rest of the team, not so much.
Still a game to be had.
It is, but now a very scary point for PSG.LGD because these buybacks, they ain't there. One more fight like that, and it will be game over for PSG.LGD.
Absolutely. What does Nothing to Say want to buy? That's the next question. I mean, he's got his Wind Waker queued up, but he's like, I don't even have items to get rid of. I gotta eat my Aghanims and get this.
Haste!
There's only so much you can do as this Timber. He's trying his best.
I like how they tipped 23 for that one, by the way, also. That, I think Jabs deserved a tip. That's like the Ven Award to win the game. Just, gotcha. I mean, this song obviously catches all of them, which is good positioning from 23, but Jabs gave the fish, and you'll give the credit to the Veno, who's being the sacrifice for most of this game.
Let's have a look. PSG.LGD, they've managed to play their way through some very tough positions that they've been put into this game.
It's an absurd
This is definitely
recovery.
the hardest position they've been put in right now.
No buybacks.
One more catch here, the Song and the Static Storm, and it'll be over.
Still no Wind Waker on planet either.
Pressure orb on Shira.
Okay.
A gift from the
sell
Tempest
his.
of
I think he
Battle.
sold his harpoon. Yes, he did.
We're spending up. Again, it is him, Planet, and Why You Smile that do not have the buybacks right now. Zeal, he's 30 seconds off his.
Be very. I mean, he's just on the edge with the mana, but he's got a chakra. But he'll have enough at least for the double. And the way he'll stagger.
Sure.
Have it. Shiro, that is.
They're watching Talon.
Starting to come in. They have the numbers.
They have to ignore this Timber.
Dire's
him
top
away.
barracks has fallen. Dire's top
Illusions are
barracks
clearing things out.
Zeal's maybe looking for an RP. He's going to get jump. He gets him with the jump skewer.
Song.
The Song's there though.
It's on
They're
Zeal.
stepping up. We'll see who they can catch in this one. They're going to look towards Zeal. Ollie's in with the axe. Then someone drop it down onto Zeal. And Zeal's getting focused. Shira, he jumps into this. He's going to jump into the axe static storm to try and fight.
Shiro.
And can he find a target out of this? They're starting to split Talon.
They're kiting him.
Ollie's going to get found by Nothing to Say. Nakoto is trying to get into the speeds gate. But they've got him.
Okay.
They get the two of them. The defense is there again. This time round, it's the buyback of Zeal they have to use. They will push back Talon.
Dire's courier
Done.
has
I
been
mean, he's the
killed.
one that does have it, so them going for him. Maybe not the most ideal situation there for Talon. And Shiro, he was patient. He didn't use the refresher. He actually only used BKB God Strength the 1 in order to get these type of kills.
And a very risky way to enter the fight. Jumping into the Ag Static Storm.
Yes.
I could have gone horribly wrong, but Shiro, he was in control.
And Nothing to Say. Yep, now he's got his Wind Waker.
So ways
His
to
Timber
say.
is. Can we get damage numbers up again by any chance? I want to see what Nothing to Say, how much he's been able to actually do, because it feels like it's been
I mean, he survived
pretty heavy
throughout
lifting in
these
most
fights
of these
for so long.
fights.
Look at that, 44,000 damage.
Techie's still the
Techie's
highest.
at the top though, Q.
Oh my god. Still an unbelievable recovery overall and throughout all stages of the game here from LGD, with Talon just having mostly full control in this game.
4 buybacks though.
Or buybacks.
All on cooldown. Talon, they have all of theirs.
It's soon going to be time for them to force the fight. Dagon now finished up for Why You Smile. So another way to clear out these illusions instantly. Just prevent this push. How's the Aghanims look? He still needs some time. That's another element, and of course is going to cause some issues versus the BKBs of the Sven. Just hold them in position. Getting around and checking also to see, I don't know what the Lotus situation is. I see a greater one greater healing. They don't have enough. They're not close still. Too many things going on to focus on that.
Another Hex thrown into the mix. Cute.
Okay. A on disc as well too from earlier. So much disable.
Thing to say, you know. He feels he can go where he wants on the map.
Okay. They have a nullifier actually finished onto Mikoto as well now. So these Wind Wakers probably not going to be able to help at all either. So now they have Ags, Static Storm, and Nullifier. So there actually is no way to save heroes if they get caught inside of it. They'll just have to naturally tank through it, which I think Nothing to Say still potentially can. We've seen.
Damage here for the squad. 50% atrophy allied hero bonus.
Okay. Yeah, he's
gonna
hit
be the
25.
one here for Mikoto this game.
Not really the biggest of deals unless you get consecutive kills in the fight, which if they even get a couple, even if they get like 1 or 2 in this one, the game is over at this point because of the lack of buybacks.
They're waiting it out nicely.
Waiting out.
PSG.LGD, a minute and a half, and buyback situation will be rectified.
Roche in 30.
They're looking for a fight now, but as I say, this is still within this very risky last minute.
Why you smile? Just farming creeps, farming illusions. Roche. Seconds.
I'm gonna go straight for it.
Okay. Could give them an element to be able to protect potentially here.
I mean, yeah, Talon, no, they're also heading immediately up to this area as well. They'll be able to pick up an arcane rune on Q on the way.
Shows himself as well on the wave. PD now feeling afraid themselves. Who gets the catch? Nothing to say.
Comes up from the high ground. They're really doing their best to try and just ignore the Timber Saw. Throw a Hex down onto him, and that's their second one as well. Do not want to go on Nothing to Say.
Crucial moments, 30 seconds until the buybacks are back.
And they've done well, PSG.LGD. Surviving through these moments.
Lanes are starting to push in though. Double catapult in the bottom wave. Nothing to Say has to back up to deal with it. They have recall though. They have a way to bring him back with Planet. Talon trying to reclaim the area over here. Get rid of these wards. Roche, it's on the menu.
They can go for it themselves, Talon.
And that's another refresher shot for Ollie.
We saw what he did last time with it. Such a strong bonus to have. And already as potent of a support hero that he is at this late game stage.
LGD can come back in here.
They're heading over.
Roche does not die that fast at this point. It's incredibly tanky. They scout NTS.
He can just throw himself in.
He is. He just takes the Watcher in front of them.
Easy Watcher play. Oh, jabs. Oh my goodness, he's out of the BK. It's all time now. The Shiro. They've caught the 2 cores. Ollie, he's ready with a 4. There's the ecstatic storm down on the boat. Nothing to say. And Shiro. Shiro's going to get wind waken up into the air. Timber's enough to save, and then it is, and straight back down into the Hex. Shiro's gone. Good buyback seal. Look at the RP off onto the 2 of them. Skewers across to bring in Mikoto down like 20.
Shiro's back.
Full HP. He's kiting out the side. Shiro jumps forward. Finishes on Mikoto. 23. He'll TP out of there. Shiro, he gets glimpsed back to base.
Oh my.
But Nothing to Say.
They have recall again.
See if he can still finish off jabs. Chasing out the Venomancer with the Shetsman's flying out. He'll find him. Jabs. He'll buy back.
Mikoto does not have buyback. He's 150 gold short. This is actually huge. I mean, Planet, he's just recalling his buddies in constantly. Shiro buys back, gets recalled, gets glimpsed, gets recalled.
Can they finish off Roche here, PSG.LGD?
There's a minefield sign.
Yeah, he's holding the area with this minefield sign.
Oh my god, Zio takes like almost 2,000 damage.
You do not want to be walking into this pit, unfortunately, right now. If you're PSG.LGD, but Shiro's going to put the BKB, they're going straight for Ollie. Get rid of this disruptor. They'll get him. Ollie has the buyback, uses it straight away. Q, he's been found in the trees. Q, he'll jump up with the BKB there for Shiro. Charge, takes down Q.
That's the second BKB and second God Strength from Shiro, though. Buybacks are coming in. Still no Underlord. 90 gold till buyback.
Song in 10 seconds for 23. He's also got the Blink Hex available if he wants to jump in and find a catch. I mean, Nothing to Say is hanging around, but PSG.LGD, they're sort of in a shape where they may not be prepared. There's the jump. 23. Straight away, he's going to go for YU Smile. Further buyback, Mikoto. He's got it back up. He's Fiends getting over. They're controlling the Ogre for now. Roots down onto YU Smile. He's surrounded. He's out of the game. He's still got his buyback.
Shiro can't fight.
He's using it.
Shiro has no BKB. He cannot enter the fight. He gets recalled in, but he's like, I have to get the hell out of here.
They just have to concede Roche.
They do.
Here, PSG.LGD, they can't fight this anymore.
The buyback, it came up just in time there from Mikoto. A lot of buybacks being used from Talon, but they should be able to they will be able to secure this Roche.
Yeah, they'll get the Roche, but indeed, in terms of the buyback situation, they themselves now 4 buybacks on cooldown. Of course, PSG.LGD is still the main one. Gone on cooldown again here with Shiro buying back in that last engagement.
Absolutely. And 23 is now he's literally critical mass. Full Aghanims being purchased up. He's going to eat it. He has a Moonshot already. He literally is full slotted, and he has buyback.
And yeah, he's also got the money really to sort of, well, very close to having the money to be able to buy back, pick up the bots or such. If there isn't sort of a Fiend's Gate laid down by Mikoto to allow him to re-engage on the fight, which we will have to look out for that. There's definitely a chance that will happen as well.
They're really trying to hold on to this Ogre buyback, but it feels he might just have to use it for the defense.
I think he will. They've got to have everything for this defense. 23 and the rest of Talon, they'll probably go pretty hard here with this high ground push.
Give the Aegis, of course, to Mikoto because he doesn't have that buyback.
Okay.
TS, the unit, high-fiving them still at this point.
They're still feeling very restrained in how they look towards going on a Timber Source. They know that this is not the way.
No. Rex, I mean, they can't whittle it down. It's not an option with these Naga illusions.
It's a full force of the fight.
They'll actually, maybe the Ogre will be able to hang on. Got the Philly Stone, of course. They constantly keep putting these Philosopher's Stones into their bags.
Nothing to say, just this kind of impenetrable wall. Talon. They'll struggle to get past.
25 was also hit by 23 in the last fight. He was actually one of the later cores to actually get it in this game. Waiting for their side lanes to push in, though. It's double siege waves. So mid, double siege, bottom, double siege, starting to enter. What Shiro did by the Swift Blink now at this point, too. So a bit of increased DPS. If he's able to get the hits off.
Radiant are scanning.
5 items coming out.
Tormentors double respawning as well, and yeah, let's see. Why?
They're all opted, a couple of them opted for force boots here.
Why? Beansgate, he gets away. I mean, force boots are insane at this point of the game. This spell that it applies, being able to use it on allies and everything too, and it's just a free slot of boots. So the Naga Siren, of course, is definitely a good pickup for 23.
Easy for him to stay on target, snap.
I mean, even the health, it's every. I mean, see, honestly, force boots I feel like have always been incredibly underrated. .25 being hit, Q. He's also gotten it, so probably mine's pretty much instantly detonate now if he gets a connection. Wait, how many did they get actually? 1, 2.
0 so far.
All right, Shiro. Oh, that's a big one. He gets a pirate hat. The gold will increase, and now he has what's his? I mean, the attack speed is ridiculous at this point.
And will mean that there's a high chance that his teammates can buy up their next item.
Oh, man. And nothing to say, gets that Giant's ring. Big boy Timber.
He really is the raid boss here that sort of is blocking Talon, you know, stands between Talon and progressing here.
Continue for some time, or end in a matter of a second here, depending on if the catches happen.
Yeah, also picking up a Giant's ring. A couple of Giant's rings now.
Okay.
Big boys.
Song.
Gonna try it.
Lincoln.
They can find.
They found Shiro. Do they have the catch though?
Fiend's getting
Ollie's here.
He's in. There's the ecstatic of the Wind Waker there.
Another fire.
He's up in the air, but the Dollar Fire gets laid down upon him. 23's been skewed off to the side. It's not like it takes Shiro out.
Gone.
He's gone. No buyback on him. See if this is going to be enough for Talon to clean up the rest of the fight. It's nothing to say. He'll desperately try to push Q back. He'll turn towards Mikoto. He'll try another grab onto Mikoto. Won't find it.
It's only nothing to say at this point to provide any damage. They're just going to kite him around.
4 versus 5 here on the defense.
I mean, 23, what a jump.
Yeah, just goes straight in. I mean, he knows that as long as he sees that Sven, backup will come in and they'll kill him. There's nothing that PSG.LGD can do to save anyone caught by that combo.
They refreshed. So 23, he's got another song set up. They also found an Ex Machina on Q, so he also has his refreshed abilities and hexes.
And Ollie's still with that shard, so he'll have a second static storm. He'll have the first one in 20 seconds. They're going for the backlines. They're going for the killable heroes. They found the hex. But the hex.
It's on Ollie.
Nothing to say. He's able to get the hex out towards Ollie. Ollie, he'll still find the chance to lay down the ecstatic storm. But this time, Zeal, he's out of it to the side. Doesn't matter. Hex is there on a Zeal. Zeal, he'll buy back here. Immediately for the defense. 23 turns towards YU Smile. They'll lay down the Will-O-Wisp, but YU Smile's out of the game. Another buyback to come out here from PSG.LGD. 23 is considering looking at the barracks steal. He's in with the jump, tries to secure it back. And the hex down onto 23 as 23 backs off away for nothing to say. Nothing to say. Turns towards the squishy kills, looks towards Q. Won't be able to stay on top of him. 23.
On the rack.
He turns to the hex. He's up with the Wind Waker. Makoto's trying to get the mega creeps, trying to finish off the objective, but they've caught him. They bring him low. He'll get another set up with the root. 23 and Makoto back in with the fortifications there. As PSG.LGD keep the racks alive a little longer. Zeal, he'll skew away from Jabs. The stun out fire blast from YU Smile over towards Jabs. Jabs getting blasted down low. 23, he'll finish off the barracks, but he's 2 dead on Talon without buyback.
Can't 23 get out.
The Hex steal. He's got the RP back up. They look over the wall. 23's getting coins out of the base. They'll get another pullback with a will-o-wisp. 23 caught by the sleep. He'll get caught by the stun. 23, he's out. As PSG.LGD, the mega creeps are out against them, but they get the kills to hold and buy time for Shiro to get back in the game in 5 seconds.
And they absolutely can hold versus Megas. They have the heroes to be able to clear these creeps constantly. We still have a game on our hands, even though Talon has a clear access to victory now.
Absolutely, you know, PSG.LGD, they lose this series, they are going home. They are putting their everything into holding on in this game too.
I mean, nothing to say is doing it. He did 17,000 damage in that last fight, Owen. This Timber's 16,000, sorry, but look at the spell usage. I see what, like 20 chakrams being used, 5 hexes, etc. Insane stuff. And now down the mid, Shiro, with him being alive.
They want to try and force this, see if they get the buyback out from 23.
Yep. Try to get something here. Jabs does not have buyback for now himself.
Yeah, Shiro, buyback's back up, but he's short on the gold. He's 1600, still has the pirate hat, right? So
yes, he's still digging.
Keep digging. Get that money, get those bounty runes.
Ooh, Ollie now, in another layer that could actually protect him, and there's that instant. He has mirror shield, so...
Nothing to say, he's caught by the Hex.
Still can't deal with him, though.
It's a fair bit of damage. They've already pretty much brought him down to half HP. Only considering how heavily they can go in onto him, but the Wind Waker's there, he's out of the base. Buying time though, and trying to do their best to protect the buybacks from having to be used from both Jabs and 23.
Shiro, God Strength #1.
He's going to push in.
Kills it fast.
Straight up to the tier 3. Fortifications there, though. They really don't want to use these buybacks, Talon. I don't think they'll have to.
They don't have to. 8 seconds.
Q. By the Hex, but the just is up. Some return back the way of nothing to say. When they're playing around with it, will be dropped, but again with the Wind Waker, he's out. Not able to jump down quite quick enough with a nullifier.
Nope. He was able to get it off beforehand. They need to go back to base, though, for a second.
The defense, this time achieved by Talon's 3 heroes, buys time, but no need for the buybacks to be put into play.
Tense moments here. How many? Yeah. Jabs 200 short. Zeal and Innocence are the only ones who don't have buyback at the moment. They would be the prime targets to catch at this point. Them and Shiro, of course. Shiro, though, does have buyback.
Okay.
Now
with that gold that he's been reeling in with these constant pirate hat usages.
Rich. Just watching Q abusing the Ex Machina, of course, with his Aeon Disc and everything, just refreshing and refreshing.
See if they want to hold off for the next Roshan. It's Talon.
Let's see what the timing is. It's a long one.
But yeah, nearly 3 minutes until Roche is back up again this game.
Whew. Slow down here.
Finding a lot for the pirate hat as well. Just wants to get more gold for the squad, allow the team to continue kind of pick up their 7th slotted items and still have money for buyback.
These talents are pretty cool. I haven't seen, of course, like every single one of these 25 talents being put in until this game. This Veno one is actually kind of neat. Noxious Plague Aura reduces 200 attack speed. Quite a lot.
It's a lot.
Everything is still up to initiations, though, as we've seen over and over and over again about the Static Storms. Is NTS, he's just untouchable. Literally the richest Timber I think we've ever seen.
12, 4, and 13. Doing his everything here to allow PSG.LGD this chance to prolong this game outcome and turn it around to potentially be in their favor and find these opportunities. You know, it really is down to the point in these games where a bad fight into a buyback and a dieback,
you could just lose.
It's game over in an instant.
Even if there's megas.
For either side.
Yep, both fight back through them. Shiro, commit about it. He's probably deciding, like, what do I even get rid of at this point?
I guess he doesn't need to have the refresher on him all the time, right? He can backpack.
True, he can backpack and move it around for the nullifier.
But yeah, at the moment doesn't have enough for nullifier and buyback.
No. And of course has to watch out, because if he nullifies versus this mirror shield, it could get reflected onto him and blah, 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 blah. I mean, there's so many different layers that are going to be coming out here. Mines being set up. Q, he's setting up to make sure that they get this Roshan in the next minute.
What's he, I think 23, what's he picking up? Is he...
Just another moon shard to feed to somebody, I guess.
He wants to give it to Makoto. He just did, right?
Yep.
Yep. I mean, Makoto's got this AC, he's got this Abyssal.
He's going to be hitting hard.
Yeah, he's going to be hitting hard and fast to get those bashes.
It's true. Very true.
We'll buy up for the nullifier now. Has enough to maintain his buyback on top of that nullifier purchase. As you know, I said, wait, did he just buy?
He got rid of his MKB.
He sold something, right? Sold the MKB.
Yeah. Feeling like he doesn't need it. There's no butterfly anymore on the Naga Siren.
That is true, yeah. It's been swapped out the inventory for 23.
Yep.
Now the question is, when you see it sold, is there any sort of big brain play to be had with going back and rebuying the butterfly? I mean, is there?
I mean, maybe.
You know what I mean?
Items doesn't feel like it's
sold his MKB.
Items don't feel like they're going to be the absolute everything.
I guess that because yeah, they're getting so much money because they're literally running what, double Pirate's Hat.
Yeah.
I mean, how much GPM is that? That's a lot of money, right?
You could
using it off cooldown.
At this point, they're each worth like each dig is worth like 1,000 gold. So let's say it's probably like 2,000 gold every time they dig.
It's a lot of money. So yeah,
they double.
They can change up their items, much more flexibility. PSG.LGD with the amount of money that they're fueling themselves with.
Up. Trapped from the kinetic field. LGD, they're making the move over. Planet does claim both of these runes. I mean, he's hit 25 for a while, but 27 is now claimed.
So we'll pick up his refresher.
Dire are scanning.
And that is the buyback committed from the Magnus.
23.
All in on
he's got a pre-casting the song. He's ready to put the song.
He gets 3.
Oh, he's got the 3 of them.
The Fiends get coming in.
The setup's there for 23. Ollie steps in.
Oh my lord!
Who jumps forward as they're going all in onto Shiro. Shiro's out. He'll buy back immediately, but both the supports are taken out immediately and afterwards, and now they can look for more hit Talon. There's no Ogre for 2 minutes, nothing to say, completely isolated from the rest of PSG.LGD, and that may give Talon the chance to try and go for him. He's still going to be very tough to take down. They're in with the Hex, the rest of PSG.LGD wait to make their way down the lane, and Shiro's in with the BKB and the Godstrike. He's going to look straight towards the Sven. He's got the Hex out onto the songs there, the BKB. It's about to come to an end. Shiro, he's got to run. They've got the vision on him, the Thunderstrike's there. Will-O-Wisp blade down, holds 23 back. Shiro, he gets glimpsed back straight in the back of the ball. They surround the Sven. See if they can keep the Sven alive in any sort of manner. Nothing to say in Planet. They've got nothing left to save Shiro with, as it's a dieback for Shiro, out for 2 minutes.
Oh, 23, what a setup. Mikoto has the Fiends get everybody's right on top of them. It gets all 3 and jabs in the meantime on the sideline. He's just poking the Magnus. Zeal can't even get in for an initiation. They've got this, Roche.
And they may have got this game now.
They might have.
100 seconds, no Shiro. A huge element of the damage output the PSG.LGD have needed to get any sort of kills in these crazy late game team fights. It's not going to be there.
They've got the numbers.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
He's getting what?
Immortality.
Sure. The Axe now, I believe Mikoto does pick it up, right? I think it was on him. Yeah. And Aegis on him. Jabs. 23. Running it down the lane. A 12 slotted or whatever slotted Timber saw. Still hasn't died in about 45 minutes.
He's doing everything he can, nothing to say. He really has. He could not be giving it anything more this game.
But they're ignoring him in a lot of the fights too. And they literally are just full committing for Shiro. I mean, he can't prevent so many things from happening.
Again, 23 just gets with the song, goes straight past him. They look for the kills they know they can get. They get on top of the Ogre. Ag Static Storm's going to be there. Jump forward.
They hex Zeal.
The Will-O-Wisp is laid down. See if it can Zeal get any sort of... Maybe get Skewer back. There's the RP. Oh, the Skewer. He's going to try and play aggressively outside the base. Why you smile? He's getting taken out. He's back out for 2 minutes. No buyback on him. The Ancient, it's exposed. Fortifications there for PSG.LGD, but it's only going to last so long. Talon, they'll push on. 23. He's going to get caught. No, so Mikoto. And 23, they actually get dragged back into the fountain. Mikoto, he's dived to the fountain here.
Aegis.
He's got just enough life to survive. He'll get back onto looking towards the Ancient. They take Zeal out. It's 4 dead on PSG.LGD. They've got very little left to defend with a Zeal. He'll buy back, but Talon alive with the 4 of them. They focus down the Ancient. They're looking forward to getting up.
Under attack.
Moving on, and the last GG is called. Talon, they take game to it. 73 minutes in, and a 2-0 knock PSG.LGD out of the competition.
Holy shit, what a game. I mean, SEA Dota at its finest. This is when they thrive. 70 minutes. 23, how many times can he catch 3 or 4 heroes inside these static storms? These sleeps were perfect. The